Next, we will continue to explain the matters concerning Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We say, is Sarah the mother of faith? Ah, she had very, very great faith. Let's read it. Sarah by faith, although she herself was past childbearing age, still obtained the ability to conceive a child because she considered the God who promised her to be faithful. So although her husband is like a dead man, he was still able to have countless descendants, like the stars in the sky, numerous, like the sand on the seashore that cannot be counted. So then we understand whether Sarah was giving birth at that time or not. She was already 90 years old. At that time, she was already past childbearing age. But for what reason was she able to bear a child? It was because of faith. Just like Abraham, for what reason was he called by God? Because he had faith in God, so he was called. Why had Sarah passed the age of childbearing? God still say to him, next year say to Abraham, next year your wife Sarah will give you a son. You shall name him Isaac. And for what reason again? Those three angels, one angel, said to Abraham, where's your wife Sarah? Abraham said, in the tent. Then one of the three said, next year I will come to you. Your wife Sarah will bear you a son. Why did the angel say this to Abraham? At that time, Sarah was also eavesdropping in the tent when she heard this sentence. Then Sarah laughed, saying, oh, I am already old, and my Lord is already old and aged. Can I still have such a joy? Sarah laughed. Then the angel said, why did your wife Sarah say, I am old? My Lord is already advanced in age. Can I really still bear a child? Is anything too hard for the Lord? So for what reason? Sarah received this kind of promise from God. It means that next year your wife Sarah will become pregnant and give birth to a child. First, there was one time when God the Father, Yahweh, spoke to Abraham, and another time, one of the three angels spoke to Abraham. When these three angels spoke, why was it that Sarah could also hear inside the tent? Sarah could hear it, and though she was past childbearing age, she could still have a child. It was because Sarah had faith in God. Let us see whether she really had faith in God or not. When he left his hometown, when Abraham left his hometown, Abraham was 70 years old. At that time, Sarah was already 60 years old. At 60, she left left her hometown to go to a distant place. The place they arrived at was called the land of Canaan. From Ur of the Chaldeans to the land of Canaan. They walked for a full 5 years. When departing for the land of Canaan, when they set out, Abraham's wife, Abraham's father Terah also went along with them. Unexpectedly halfway along, Abraham's father had already died. After he passed away, when they continued on their way and reached the land of Canaan, Abraham was already 75 years old. He left his hometown at 70. He did not arrive in Canaan until the age of 75. They spent 5 years on the road. So when they left their hometown, when Sarah followed and arrived in the land of Canaan, Sarah followed. Abraham then wandered to Egypt. When fleeing from the famine, Sarah followed, and when they came back, Sarah followed. When they were setting up the tent, Sarah followed along wherever he was. Sarah kept following. So can we see whether Sarah, toward Abraham and toward God, had faith or not? She did have faith. From this time on, Abraham left his hometown at age 70. By this time, Abraham was already 100 years old. Sarah was already 90 years old, a full 30 years. She had been following Sarah all along. She had been following Abraham all along. She had never left Abraham, although there were two kings who had taken Sarah away. In the end, Sarah still returned to Abraham's side. So we can see that Sarah had faith in God. Because she had faith in God, so God then spoke to Abraham, your wife Sarah will conceive and bear you a son. And then, at this time again, the three angels again said, where is your wife Sarah? Someone said in the tent, and one angel said, your wife Sarah. Next year your wife Sarah will bear you a son. You shall name him Isaac. So then, for what reason? Sarah received such a wonderful promise at such an advanced old age, even older than our sister Waylon now. An elderly sister. How can we still receive such a wonderful promise and assurance? It is because Sarah had faith in God. So, over these 30 years, kept walking throughout the whole land of Canaan, following Abraham for these 30 years, which showed that she had faith. So even though she was already 90 years old, but because of faith, God gave her a son. Let her bear a son. Let her become a joyful mother of many children. Glory be to the Father and the Lord. Amen.